My name is Leon, and this is Lior, my partner. We are the founders of HotelsBI. We provide business intelligence for hotels. And let's start with that. Sorry. Okay, so what is the challenge? Today we have a lot of data which has kind of impact on direct or indirect on hotel performance. We have data, internal data in hotel systems like PMS, property management system, revenue management system, CRM, CRS, F&B systems, bookkeeping systems. We have also external sources of data like OTAs, Booking.com, Expedia. We have meta searches like Google, Trivago. We have the data of the rates, of the reviews, and also we have data of demand. So we can measure, for example, how many search requests on hotel in Tel Aviv, on Google, how it changes and how it impacts the occupancy in the city, how it impacts the hotel. So all this data exists. The problem is that the data is not accessible to the decision makers in the hotel because it's not in the most convenient, simple way presented. And the challenge to analyze all this data is it's a very big challenge for today for hoteliers as we see it. So what we do and how we do it, we integrate to almost every data source that exists, and we all the time increase the data sources that we are working with. We aggregate the data. We run our own analysis on this huge amount of data. Some of the analysis goal is to identify the patterns, the correlations between different trends in order to present the right clear picture for the hoteliers. And based on this analysis, we are also able to provide recommendations of action items, clear action items, what to do in order to avoid a problem in the future or in order to improve your performance on different aspects of the hotel, either it's on the revenue part, on the finance, on the marketing, on sales, and whatever. Almost every part of the hotel can find data which would be relevant for them. Our achievements, so we started about a year ago. We launched our first pilot on May. On November we already had 26 hotels. Today we have 50 hotels, more than 100 hotels on different stages of the pilots. We have one chain that we started a pilot with them, which is Best Western, 4,000 hotels. We're going to start with only 2, but the goal is to take them all. And I try to make it short as possible. So if you have any questions, this is my contacts. I'll be more than glad to answer your questions.
15 seconds about your experience.
It's my second startup. My first startup was in the telecom industry. I sold it. I was 2 years unemployed. I worked as a consultant for investment fund, and then I decided to do this startup with a passion for doing startups. And it was always inside me, and so I couldn't live more than 2 years without doing real startup. Then I came back. Yes.
Which PMS are you working?
Sorry.
Currently with the big ones, with Micros PMSs.
Micros and Fidelio.
Fidelio is starting integration with Seahot and Protel German PMSs, and we have also some new in the pipe.
And are you dealing with revenue management as well? Because you mentioned some information about sales and
Yes, of course. So on one part, if the hotel already has revenue management system like Ideas, Duetto, EasyRev, we know how to integrate and present the same data, aggregate the data and work and combine it with other data sources. But for small hotels or mid-chains, they're not always using, it's not always profitable for them to use a real RMS system. So we have our own internal model that gives it's kind of mini RMS that brings the right hints. It's not on the level of Ideas and Duetto yet, but it precedes. It's our strategic vector that we would like to develop. So we would like to develop actually in several vectors. One is the revenue management. Second one is the CRM and the loyalty to help run the campaigns. And the third one is the finance, to combine also the cost, because always you see a lot of systems focusing only on the revenue, but we believe that taking in account also the cost and hint you on cost saving in the future based on your performance on the revenue. It's an important part in hotel operation.
What's the difference between this BI tool versus
Fornova.
Fornova is not integrated.
I won't even go to Fornova, but just go to the traditional one, to Cognos and Business Object and SaaS. And all that.
First of all,
The big one.
our tool is dedicated for hotels, and we build in our own algorithms in our own way to structure the data and present it. It's not a generic tool. It's pure for hotel. It's just the hotel business processes. It's one thing. The second thing is the cost. The cost of deployment, the time of deployment, it takes about 20 minutes to deploy the system, to integrate with your PMS. And the cost is, we charge 99 euros per month per hotel. It doesn't require any additional maintenance because everything is done from our system. It's all cloud-based.
Most importantly, it covers also both guest analysis and performance analysis. Many BI systems cover only one of them and focus on the revenue management and performance budgeting and things like this. And we give a broader view of all the. We know how to connect the guest analysis and clustering to the performance data and reviews and
Guest
other.
analysis from external sources?
Yeah, we also working.
Yes, social networks, of course,
Yeah.
it's a very important source because a lot of hotels today, they publish on social networks and they use the social networks as communication channel with their guests, potential guests, but they are not actually analyzing. Sorry, I'm out of time. But if you are interested, I will leave my cards here.
Here we
so.
have the card. Okay.